Have you ever heard of the world's smallest country? If you know, then you already know the answer to this question. But if you don't, let me tell you. On January 31st, 1968, the tiny Pacific island of Nauru declared its independence, becoming the world's smallest independent republic by land area. This moment marked the culmination of decades of colonial rule, resource exploitation, and a growing national movement for self-governance. So, how did this small island become the world's smallest republic? Let's find out in today's episode. Early colonial rule. Nauru's modern history was shaped by a series of foreign administrations. In 1888, Germany annexed the island, incorporating it into the German Marshall Islands Protectorate. After Germany's defeat in World War I, Nauru came under the joint mandate of Australia. New Zealand and the United Kingdom, administered primarily by Australia under the League of Nations. The League of Nations, however, was not keen on the idea of granting Nauru full autonomy. Its importance at this point lay in the potential use of its resources to benefit mainly Australia. The Phosphate Connection. By the early 20th century, Nauru's vast phosphate deposits discovered in 1900 had become its most valuable resource. Mining operations were initially controlled by the Pacific Phosphate Company, later replaced by the British Phosphate Commission. The profits fueled the economies of Australia and New Zealand, while Nauruans received only a small fraction of the wealth generated from their land. Nauruans began to agitate for greater control over their affairs, but Australia resisted these calls for autonomy. World War II disruption. In 1942, Nauru was occupied by Japanese forces during World War II. The occupation brought severe hardship. Infrastructure was damaged. Mining was halted, and hundreds of Nauruans were deported to Chuuk Lagoon in present-day Micronesia, where many perished due to disease and starvation. Following the war, the island returned to Australian administration, this time as a United Nations Trust territory. But this arrangement failed to address the root causes of the discontent and the desire for self-determination grew even stronger. The road to independence. By the 1960s, a new generation of Nauruan leaders began pushing for control over their own resources and governance. Hammer DeRoburt, a charismatic political leader, became the driving force of the independence movement. He formed the Nauru Party, which advocated for complete independence and self-determination. Negotiations with Australia. New Zealand and the UK focused on two key demands: self-governance, ending foreign administrative control, and ownership of phosphate mining operations so profits would directly benefit Nauruans. In 1966, Nauru made a crucial step towards independence when it gained control over its phosphate industry. In 1967, Nauru purchased the assets of the British Phosphate Commission, ensuring that mining profits would stay within the nation. This move significantly boosted support for the independence movement, as it promised greater economic self-sufficiency. The following year, on January 31st, 1968, Nauru officially became an independent republic with Hammer DeRoburt as its first president. The new nation was welcomed into the Commonwealth of Nations in 1970 and later joined the United Nations in 1999. After independence, Nauru experienced a period of prosperity during the phosphate boom years. The mining industry generated substantial revenue, making Nauru one of the world's richest countries per capita in the 1970s. However, this prosperity was short-lived. The reliance on a single resource and poor management practices led to the depletion of phosphate reserves, and the economy took a downswing. Nevertheless, Nauru's journey to independence remains a remarkable achievement. Despite its small size and limited resources, Nauru successfully negotiated its freedom and self-determination. Its independence stands as a beacon of hope for other small island nations, demonstrating that even the smallest states can carve out a space for themselves on the global stage. That's all for today. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing episodes. See you next time